it.
This
Oh,
this
God.
this
Yes.
this right here is industry impact. All right, Verizon is continuing their push, or I should say their pushback to the FCC to not gift 4.9 gigahertz spectrum to AT&T via FirstNet. So Verizon is standing 10 toes down. They are digging their feet in the sand. They have told the FCC on multiple occasions. They have done this behind closed doors. They have done this officially through open comments. They do not want FCC giving FirstNet 50 megahertz of prime mid-band spectrum, 4.9 gigahertz. It would be full power. It would have excellent propagation qualities and characteristics. It would essentially give a true capacity layer to FirstNet. Outside of the 10 by 10, right, the 10 megahertz of band 14, which is a low band 700 megahertz frequency, you would now get a second channel swath of spectrum dedicated to FirstNet. Here's what Verizon said in their filing with the FCC. Verizon would like to see the FCC approve rules designed to increase the usage of the 4.9 gigahertz band while, quote, maintaining local control for public safety users. So what Verizon is saying, fine, 50 megahertz of 4.9 gigahertz access to FirstNet, but we need other folks using it too. That's what Verizon is saying. They're not telling the FCC what exactly to do. Verizon is politicking that more people should have access to this than just FirstNet. Because what ends up happening with like FirstNet is a lot of times it becomes very exclusive. Preemption, priority. It becomes basically a specialized channel for first responders, which a bulk majority of the time, low usage. Verizon actually would like an official audit. Check out this commentary, bro. Verizon would like an official audit on how much usage is actually on band 14. They want to know if that AT&T and FirstNet would even require additional bandwidth. They're saying basically if you got low usage on band 14, then why the hell do you need an additional 50 megahertz of prime midband? That's where they're coming in with this. That's their angle. AT&T, for what it's worth, really wants this. They would love FirstNet to be awarded or gifted the 4.9 gigahertz spectrum. 50 megahertz of prime mid-band spectrum. Do we know if this is going to be N78, N79? I have no idea.
Definite. We already know.
So,
a quick Google search gives
so
you N79.
What that means is basically all the phones that are active from the iPhone 12 and on have this enabled. They're N79 capable.
It's N79. I googled it. Yeah.
Yep.
Guys, I think the angle we have to take here is pretty simple. Verizon is saying all the right things. AT&T is gonna and FirstNet for their side of it. They're gonna want this 50 megahertz on their ownership and on operations solo. They don't want to share this with anybody. This is huge for the industry. If AT&T gets this 50 megahertz of N79, the C-band position that Verizon has established now basically gets erased because AT&T had to go into 2 auctions to fill up their 2 N77 channels, and they're still light. This will absolutely close that gap and likely probably put AT&T ahead of Verizon in most cases across the country when it comes to dedicated mid-band 5G. And I just want to say, when it comes to FirstNet, I do believe that FirstNet deserves a low-band carrier, which is band 14, and I do believe they deserve a mid-band carrier, which I'm not saying it has to be this band. I'm saying that they deserve a dedicated mid-band. I think you need a capacity band. I think you need a coverage band for FirstNet. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that they deserve this. I'm saying that they deserve a mid-band channel as well as a low-band channel. That's what I'm saying. However, I have said it many times. B, Zero Cool, Moose, you guys consume all my content. You know how I feel about this. I do feel like all carriers should be involved with a FirstNet SIM. I do. And because of that, I think all these radios and all these assets need to be accessible for first responders and emergency situations. So to me, I want to support FirstNet in this. They do need a mid-band channel. I just don't know if it needs to be 50 megahertz of 4.9 gigahertz. All right, where are we going to start? Whoever's on the panel, you guys can jump in.
I'll go first, just really quick. Just a couple points here. So, yeah, so the 700, band 14 was primarily used, for voice, texting, small data, right? The high capacity bands are for high capacity data applications for using, especially in E911 call centers right now, using predictive analysis for as far as like ambulance routes, hospitals, stuff like that, right? So you have to think about drones. Yes, that's huge. Drones is huge. Yep. So that's that. So this is why they need the high capacity bands. Now, the other piece to this is it's not just the FCC awarding this. Okay, Congress also has to award it to the FirstNet Authority. That's why Congress established the fact of the FirstNet Authority to begin with. Actually, gave AT&T
so Zero Cool.
authority.
That's something that's a point of contention. Verizon is actually saying the FCC should not be allowed to assign this to FirstNet. They're saying that there's a legality issue.
It's a two-part deal.
It would have to come from Congress, I believe.
No, that's how the 700 came about. That's how the 4.9 is going to come about. But the thing is that when Congress established this is AT&T is the one that was established as the sole FirstNet authority. So my point is that once the FCC is only the first, does only 50% of the work. Congress does the other 50%. So okay, so it is up to the FCC if they want to share that spectrum with like Verizon or set up some sort of maybe a roaming or whatever shared access like a 4.8 gigahertz, like the CBRS. Maybe they could do it shared. I don't know. Just my personal take on it. This is just my personal take. I think AT&T has been very effective in their band 14 rollout. They have got it done. I think they're going to do the same thing with the full access for the 4.9. I think they'll put to great use, and I don't have a problem with AT&T getting full access to this and sole access because Verizon did spend a crap ton of money with their C-band. They just turned up all their C-band assets, and it's a competition, right? Let the best carrier win to provide services to emergency services. It's just so fact, and the reason why is why I think AT&T is going to do a better job. It's because you're going to be mixing the high capacity fiber circuits, 10 gig on up, with their GPON and XPON, with high capacity mid-band spectrum that's going to be used for emergency services. I think those are two winning combinations, right? Especially when lives are on the line. When lives are on the line, you cannot have any delay. That's also, again, why millimeter wave is so important in these types of situations that Verizon has. So I think AT&T needs to have this. They deserve it. They need to build it out to match Verizon's millimeter wave so that, fire departments that actually have contracts with Verizon and AT&T can use it, to their benefit. But I think AT&T needs this.